We are back. The Miller Lite Cleveland Open Championship final action. Karch and Kent Steffes going up against Brent Frohoff and Ricky Luyties. Great crowd on hand. Karai and Steffes looking for their 4th win in a row. They won in Fort Worth, followed it up in San Diego, and then last week split $100,000, a huge payday at the Boulder, Colorado tournament. It's going to be an interesting final. Frohoff and Luyties with their 3rd chance to win a tournament this year. A couple of seconds so far for Luyties and Frohoff in Austin, Texas, and in San Antonio. So the big question, of course, what about the health of Karch? Said he ate some bad chili, he thinks. Got a little food poisoning on Friday night. Had it all Saturday, and he's had it all today. And he's been very quiet. He said he threw up a couple of times on Saturday night and once this morning, and he is not feeling good. He doesn't want anybody to know about it, obviously, because he doesn't want to be served. He just told Sunderland and Marlowe, and we've been trying to keep it a secret.
Well, it's not fair of us to mention it to the other players. If the other players want to know, it's up to them to scout it out.
Right.
But we want to bring the information to those people, of course, who are not here in Cleveland. And I tell you, I talked to Karch after the semifinals this morning, and he was really, really hurting. A gutty performance here, and his young partner, Kent Steffes, has got to cover for him a little bit.
Part of the atmosphere at Nautica at the Flats. A beautiful place to play volleyball. First referee, Jim Leonard. And Sid Church going to be the umpire, one of the newer referees on the tour. Does Sid do a good job?
He's been good throughout the course of the weekend. You haven't seen Tim Hovland chasing him through the players' tent or out into the Cuyahoga River, so he must be doing all right.
He's still alive, so that must mean he's doing a good job. Brent Frohoff and Ricky Luyties, Karch and Kent Steffes, double elimination. Karch and Kent Steffes have won the winner's bracket. They have not lost so far in this tournament, so it's up to Ricky Luyties and Brent Frohoff to beat them twice. The prospect of that double elimination tournament. So.
Big challenge. And, you know, these are ideal conditions. It's later in the afternoon now. I would imagine it's maybe 68 degrees, 70 max, very light breeze, and ideal conditions to play in. And you could tell from some things we've seen earlier in the program, the mailbag with Scott Akatubby. It was so cold yesterday, it was hard for me to talk. And you know when I can't talk,
yes,
it's got to be very cold.
All right, we are set, ready to go. Kent Steffes going to serve first. Karch positioned at the net. He'll be doing the work in the pink hat. Steffes, 6'4", 210 pounds, 16 wins last year. He's tied with Jim Menges, so he could move into 6th place on the all-time list today with a win and go to number 44. And right off the bat, Brent Frohoff bingos Kent Steffes right in the face. So Fro will serve. Once again, second behind Karai Steffes in Austin, and then finishing second in San Antonio behind Adam Johnson and Brooke Vandeweghe. Here comes Frohoff. And they'll start on Kent Steffes. Now Steffes going to feel very, very rested, very fresh. And he wants to take as many serves as he can.
Right. I'll tell you, if Steffes gets a lot of serves early, then you know that Frohoff and Luyties are unaware of Karch's physical condition. If they start serving Karch repeatedly, then you know that they are aware.
Karch has it. And Kent dinks it. Point. 1-0, Karai and Steffes.
Working hard for point-scoring opportunities, Luyties and Frohoff have to establish their ability to side out consistently from the very beginning of this game. They've been unable to do it so far. Luyties with a bit of a shank pass.
Karch lobbing the jumper to Ricky. They'll serve Ricky a lot because he does a lot of blocking work. And Ricky Luyties cuts it inside. Born in Malibu, California, now lives in San Diego. Does Luyties. He's won 6 tournaments and almost $400,000 in total prize money. Won his first tournament back in 1988 with Karch at Manhattan. Here comes Steffes. And Steffes thumps it through. Kent Steffes decked out in his new feel of gear. He must have gotten a new shipment this week. He's got brand new stuff. He might stick to the sand if he gets in there, don't you think?
Look for a packaging label or something hanging out of the back of those trunks. Brand new gear.
Setting Ricky's off the net. He drills it. Good shot by Ricky Luyties. So now the ball will go to Brent Frohoff. Brent Frohoff, born in Hermosa Beach, California, lives in Manhattan now. He's won almost $35,000 so far this year. Big difference in prize money.
Yeah. Later
this
on,
year.
we'll take a look. We'll take a look at the earnings right on down through the top 5 or 6 players, and Kirai and Steffes are way up on top. Frohoff, like his former partner in the opposition in the semifinals, Scott Akatubby, can rip the jump serve, and he needs to score 3 or 4 points along with Luyties on the jump serve alone.
No score. Luyties tipping it over. Steffes, chance for a point. Karch, no! Luyties blocks it back. Okay, if you don't know Karch is sick, you can kind of tell if you really look closely. Sometimes you don't know, but you look at him, he just does not look like he has a lot of energy.
Well, and he's being very, very quiet, trying to contain himself, and Karch making a conservative shot here, just tapping up into Ricky Luyties. I think expecting that Kent Steffes was going to come back and cover, but Steffes still down.
So far, Karch has not gotten a serve, and out of the reach of Frohoff goes Kent Steffes.
Yeah, it's an interesting point about how much Ricky Luyties and Brent Frohoff may be aware of Karch's condition. Right now, I would say they are completely unaware, and you would expect that. They're focused on what they have to do. They're off coming, fighting their way through the loser's bracket. They're playing at the same time
Right.
Kirai and Steffes are. They may well be unaware, and they're focused very much on their own ability to side out and score.
Steffes to serve. 1-0 is our score. And Frohoff pops it over the top. When I used to play, Paul, I had a philosophy. If I was going to serve one guy all the time, we did most of the time, but I would always check the other guy out. You never know when the other guy's about to drop dead.
Right.
I'll never forget. I played with George Steffanoff at a tournament in Santa Monica, and we were playing against Greg Lee and a guy named Mike DeRocher. And we served Greg Lee every ball. We ended up losing like 15-13. It was a hot day, really hot, all day long. We served him and served him and served him and served him, and they beat us. And as soon as the last ball down, DeRocher fell down, and they took him to the hospital.
I remember
in a medevac van.
Yeah.
And he didn't recover for like 2 months.
Well, he had second-degree burns
on
all
his
over
feet,
the bottom of
on
his
feet.
Yeah.
And we didn't know it. And we kept serving Greg Lee, thinking he's going to get tired, and he never did. And the other guy went to the hospital. And Steffes gets the block. So you have to check each guy out at least a couple of times.
Yeah, you've got to throw one on somebody to make sure that they're into the match. But it's just a question of the persona and how much respect everybody else on the tour has for Karch. I mean, the way to normally get at Kirai and Steffes is to go through Steffes. That's been the way for anybody who's had some success this year.
2-0. Kirai and Steffes lead Frohoff and Luyties. Frohoff and Luyties talking it over there. And now, Big Ricky will serve. Father, a general contractor who owns a small hotel and restaurant, Suites Las Garces in Puerto Vallarta. Alternates working each month in Mexico and California. Is that good? No, that can't be good.
That came back up under the antenna.
Pass, set, hit. Keep playing the ball. You never know.
Yeah, an optical illusion there.
Cleveland fans going, wait, what's the story with that? That can't be.
A near joust. Steffes off the top of the block here, goes straight up, but the ball's out of bounds, so Ricky figures I'll just play that one back.
Karch had a chance. Luyties hit it off him. And so Brent Frohoff will have the ball. Frohoff, grandfather, played baseball. He played baseball at an early age in Little League. Get to that in a moment. And an interesting career as a young pitcher. Always had a great arm as Frohoff whips one into the net. So Karch will have the ball. 2-0. Kirai and Steffes lead. Karch never played baseball as a kid or basketball. Frohoff got it. Well, Brent Frohoff gets the side out. We'll take a quick break. Kirai and Steffes lead 2-0. Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland, the championship final of the Miller Lite Cleveland Open. 12th tournament on tour this year. Karch and Kent trying to rack up some more money. They've each won over $150,000 so far. And we're only at the 12th tournament, Paul. The big money ones are coming up.
Right. Hermosa is coming up. Of course, Seal Beach. Chicago is a $150,000 tournament.
Milwaukee.
The bonus pool, Milwaukee.
Yeah.
But Kirai and Steffes on plays just like that. The ace up the middle into the hubby wife area. But that was deep, deep hubby wife. Very difficult ball to pass. Kirai and Steffes have won both Cuervo tournaments already this year. So they've won $100,000 each just in those 2 tournaments.
Here comes Steffes. It's 3-0. And they'll try Ricky Luyties. And Luyties jams one down the line. Ricky Luyties looking very, very healthy. Talking about Brent Frohoff's baseball career as a little leaguer, Paul. His team was getting shelled in the first inning with 1 out. His coach, Wayne Tatum, put him in, and he went out and struck out the next 17 batters in the game. And the game was over, and they won. He struck out 17 out of the 18. He came in after the first out.
That's unbelievable control. Without a walk, without any mistake.
No, he just struck them all out. He just struck them all out. He set them up with a curveball, then threw smoke with a 3-finger fastball. Frohoff is so funny. He said, my fingers were so small, I had to throw the fastball with 3 fingers instead of 2. So Brent Frohoff trading his baseball career in on a very fulfilling volleyball career. Won Manhattan with Karch, longtime partner of Karch. 9 tournaments he won with Karch.
And the same arm speed that stood him in good stead as a young baseball pitcher has worked very well for him as a hitter and jump server.
Then down the line. One of the great things about Frohoff is that he does, a la Dave Saunders, who played on the 84 and 88 Olympic teams, their best asset, that great live arm serve.
You got to have that. Anybody who's going to be an effective hitter out here, you got to have good arm speed, but there's some players that just have rockets attached to the side of their body. Dave Saunders was certainly one. Not a great jumper, but a wonderful passer, defensive player, and a rocket arm.
So Brent Frohoff, he says he still has the article. I want to see him show me that. 17 batters. Of course, there are only 18 batters in a Little League game, if you're wondering what we're talking about, because they only play 6 innings. Oh, Karch shanks one under the net. So perhaps Frohoff and Luyties, they get their first point on a Karch shank, 3-1 now.
And only the second serve to Karch Kirai. Steffes has been served 6 times. You know, the hard jumper was right to Karch, and he just shanked the pass.
And football. You had mentioned that, Paul, in an earlier match, that Frohoff was dangerously close to football.
Well, and it's a tough call on the beach, because when you plant that front foot, it slides underneath the rope. You got to be very careful that it's foot contact with rope and not just sand being kicked onto the rope.
Kirai to serve. If you're wondering, St. John Smith and his new partner, Chris Young, finished 9th. Randy Stoklos and Brian Lewis finished 9th. Oh, boy, that ball stuck for a moment. Steffes looking to go to 4-1. Got it.
Yeah, that should have been a throw call. That one was very slow coming out of the holster, but Kirai and Steffes on the board.
Coming back, Kirai and Steffes out fast, 4-1. Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland back in Cleveland, Ohio. Let's take a look at this controversial play. Luyties trying to get the touch on Karch. Did he get it, Paul?
Well, that's tough to say, but I think, let's check it out at another angle. Karch, obviously Luyties is not trying to hit the ball up on the stage, but the ball is set very, very tight. Absolutely. Karch got it.
I think that was a good play, but did Ricky hit the net? Maybe that's what they call Ricky into the net. 6-4, Karchin can't lead it. And Luyties cuts it inside. So Ricky Luyties and Brent Frohoff have the ball. Luyties in the hat right there. Very recognizable figure in pro beach volleyball. Big, strong, handsome, muscular. Kind of the way Paul Sunderland used to be. And his partner, Brent Frohoff, the long, scraggly hair. Kind of the way I used to be. Without the jump serve. Did he get it?
I'm going to have to break out some pictures. You're just giving me too much trouble out here these days. So I'm going to have to bring out some pictures.
I said before.
Okay.
Before you got married.
Fro would have to get a number from the service line and just hasn't been able to find it. Been playing good defense and scoring in that area, though.
Ricky booms it cross court. Nice
violation on the block attempt by Kent Steffes.
So Ricky Luyties will have it.
Side out to Frohoff and Luyties.
And he will serve. Ricky, a gold medalist in 1988. Actually set the first 3 matches of the Olympics if you go back and look at your tapes.
Right, Jeff Stork had the sprained ankle.
And Ricky played very, very well. The United States embroiled with a prime time match against Argentina. Went down 2 games to none. Then the coach decided to take Ricky out and put Jeff Stork in, and the rest was history. Ricky was playing very well, but the team was playing poorly, and that's why they took him out.
Well, it's an age-old story, you know. One player plays badly, you take him out, and you said it time and again. 3 or 4 are playing badly, you take out the starter.
4 serving 6. Karai and Steffes led 3-0. Brent and Ricky came back and tied it 4-4. A couple of out hits. Steffes buries one by Frohoff, one by Ricky that perhaps wasn't called. And we had a 6-4 side change, and that's exactly where we stand right now.
This court got very wet yesterday. We had kind of a misting rain all day long during play. And it's imported sand, as we documented at the beginning of the tournament. And it is very hard packed. You can really jump well out of the stuff.
Frohoff chopping inside. So Frohoff off the net with a little cut shot. Quarry sand.
Well, you can see the different colors in there. You can see the light colored sand, which is right on the surface, but everything below that, I think you said we've got 7 or 8 inches out here in depth. Everything below that is very wet and very hard packed.
Luyties drives back and serve it up.
Luyties 3 wins with Adam Johnson, 1 with Brent Frohoff, 1 with Mike Dodd, 1 with Karch Karai. And another serving error, so they are working it up there. As Steffes has it, and a 2-point lead.
With 7 service errors right now for Frohoff and Luyties. 5 by Brent Frohoff.
Luyties, hammer, Steffes, got it! Kent Steffes with an alligator dig up high.
There have been 2 rockets in this match so far. One right there by Ricky Luyties, and it came back. Kent Steffes scored, and the other Karch Karai drilled cross court. Brent Frohoff got it.
Ricky Luyties and Brent Frohoff once again during the course of the match on the AVP tour.
Timeout taken by Frohoff and Luyties. 7-4 is the score right now. Kent and Karch have a 3-point lead. Will return to Cleveland after these messages. Stay with us. Kent Steffes serving. His team leading 7-4. He and Karch against Brent Frohoff and Ricky Luyties. Early action. Karai and Steffes led early 3-0. It was tied 4-4 since that. Karch and Kent have gotten 3 in a row to lead 7-4. Frohoff's serve has been effective. He's been playing good defense. But they're back on Kent, and they're not scoring out of it. They've lost their luster. They've lost the desire to serve Karai.
Well, like I said, they're unaware of his illness. They went to Karai because they weren't having any luck with Steffes. They got a couple off Karch. He sided out a few times and said, all right, Karch is back in the groove, and then they came right back to Steffes.
Karai suffering from food poisoning this entire weekend. Been very sick. He's thrown up a number of times. He's weak. He's not himself. The question is, can he win this tournament in that condition? Little jump set to Frohoff, and Karch had it. Check, chuck. He's got it.
Karch will block now. Send the ball high. Give the team defense plenty of time to set up Karai and Steffes.
And Luyties hits it straight down. So a long run for Steffes. Keep the pressure on. Luyties and Frohoff side out. A good round of applause from the fans.
Well, that is a long run at the net blocking, and then here's Karai just sending the ball up so his team can set themselves defensively, and Luyties once again turning the ball down the line. When the ball's set tight, that's where Luyties wants to go.
Now they're back on Karch. And Karch apparently feeling a little better. This is right over the top of Luyties for the kill.
Well, you know, Karch is a little bit stronger than your average bear. I mean, Karch at 50% is still pretty good, but clearly not 100%.
Here comes Kent Steffes. Ricky. Oh, Ricky with a great shot. Another one over the top. You're right, Paul. Players are really jumping out of this quarry sand.
Well, it just like, it just packs down underneath you. When you're out on the beach playing, you know, the sand is a natural depth, and it gives away and gives away and is a real negative. But here, particularly with the precipitation yesterday, the players push down, they get through that light surface sand, and then it's like pushing off a gym floor.
Ace!
That may get Brent Frohoff going. He's got 5 service errors, and that's his first ace, I believe.
5-37.
Second ace for Brent Frohoff. And down the line against his former partner, Karch Karai.
Now 7-5, Karai and Steffes. Lead only by 2, and they're back on Steffes. And Kent shooting well, goes right over the top. So Karai and Steffes trying to figure out who's supposed to serve. It is Karch.
3:28 to go in the match.
Killer Loop Kill Award right now. Steffes in the lead by 3, 15 to 12. Luyties coming now, getting in the hunt just a bit. Frohoff got it. Chopping back.
Slide down the
Fresh
line
as a
by
daisy
Brent
today.
Frohoff.
Well, not having any problems at all. He's worked hard on his conditioning and excellent ball control. Passing the ball well, and Ricky Luyties, a very talented All-American setter at UCLA, putting the ball in good position for him. And Fro really established early the hard toss towards the Hubby White.
Third ace, second in a row. Fro and Ricky pulled it within 1.
Perfect example. Honey, you take it. No, I'll get it.
7 to 6 now. Carson can't continue to lead, but only by 1. And Steffes. Boy, we've seen Carson can't give up a lot of hubby wives today. I mean, this is like a, you know, like a seminar for husband and wives today. how not to do it.
Well, when you're feeling as under the weather as Karch is, I mean, it's very, very hard to communicate. You just have to press that little extra bit. And that's a drop in concentration by Brent Frohoff. They're back in the match, 7-6. They've made a couple of good plays, both he and his partner. And this is a jump serve right to him, and he just shanked it. That's a play you got to make.
Both teams could be a bit tired. Steffes doing a lot of work. Karch is kind of sick. Ricky's doing a lot of blocking. And Frohoff watches another ace go by. So it's a battle of the aces.
First one he should have had. Second one, no chance.
9 to 6. 4 aces in a row. 2 for each. It's 9 to 6, Karch and Kent. The Miller Lite Cleveland Open, the Nautica Complex. You see part of the crowd, the jumbo crowd that has jammed into this entertainment center in industrialized Cleveland, Ohio, and the fans are out. Yesterday, you could not wear a gorgeous bikini like that. You had to have your snow shoes on. Karai and Steffes leading by over $100,000 in prize money. Check that out. Stokos is third
Mike
at
Dodd,
43.
Then Lewis and Whitmarsh, who've had a pretty good run. But Karai and Steffes with $100,000 individually at the first 2 Cuervo events, that really explains it. And they've won 7 out of the first 10 events.
Steffes to serve. He scored 2 aces in a row. It was 7 to 6. Kent an ace to Frohoff, and then an ace down the line. Now it is 9 to 6. Luyties, and Luyties shovels one down the line. Karch and Kent jumped out early, 3-0. Fro and Ricky battled back to tie it up at 4. Karch and Kent once again went out by 3, 7 to 4. Then Frohoff whipped up an ace, Ricky an ace. It was 7 to 6 in tight action. But just as we said then, Kent dialed 2 aces up. Here comes Karch. And Karch chopping inside the block.
Boy, what a good trouble shot. Facing perpendicular or parallel, I should say, to the opposition. And then just slicing the ball inside out away from the defense of Brent Frohoff.
Karai not feeling 100% in this tournament. Has had food poisoning this weekend. Ricky thumps one down. Thought he ate some bad chili on Friday night, and he's been feeling the effects ever since. I guess if you get a bad batch of chili, that's about, except maybe a bad piece of fish or something.
Well, chili is hard enough on you to begin with, and let alone get you a double whammy.
Karch, little tap. Brent is right there to go to 9-7. Will he cut? He hits it off Karch. 9-7.
Got to stay aggressive. Stay with it. What brought you here? That's good jump serving. Okay, you're going to make some mistakes. But then when you get a chance to score, you got to go aggressively. And Ricky Luyties really the key to this play. Nice coverage defensively, and then Luyties with a nice back set to Frohoff.
Side out. So Steffes will serve 9-7. A 2-point lead for Kent and Karch. Nice pass by Ricky. Perfect set. And Ricky levels it down the line.
Boy, they should be able to side out all day. Both players with very good ball control. Luyties, like Kent Steffes, on the right side, a little more error-prone than their respective partners.
Brent Frohoff with 14 victories in his career. 3 with Akatebe, 9 with Karch, 1 with Ricky, and 1 with Mike Whitmarsh last year in New Orleans. And here comes Karch. Started playing volleyball in Santa Barbara when he was 6 years old. A lot of experience. And Ricky tattoos with a good shot. So Ricky Luyties and Brent Frohoff trying to figure out a way to get close to Karch and Kent. It's a 2-point lead.
Evened out a little bit in terms of who's getting served. You can see Steffes coming over and taking some more court on the deep middle ball. Boy, just catches the rope there down the right sideline. And that's a shot that really cursed him the first time around when he played with Karch Kiraly. Used to hit 3 or 4 balls a game, it seemed, out down the right sideline. But no more.
And Steffes right into the top of the net. So the match is definitely slowed down here as Frohoff sets to put the ball in play.
Boy, a lot of mistakes, 14 between these two teams, and that's probably too many at this point in time.
Steffes, Frohoff, got a save by Ricky. And Steffes going to get another chance to put it away. He does.
Well, I don't like that play by Frohoff at all. He's trying to shoot Kiraly and Steffes on one. He was on the shot instead of making, well, I'll call it the more conservative play. Just pass the ball safely to your partner and take a good swing. And Luyties bailed him out of the net to begin with, and they still couldn't end up scoring.
Talked about how Karch's wife, Jana, sets him balls down at Capistrano Beach the day before the tournament. And we talked about he had missed a couple digs the other day, so he started playing pepper with his wife, and defensively it has paid off. We'll take a timeout. We're coming back. Don't go away. It's a 2-point lead for Karch. Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland back with you. 2 minutes and 12 seconds to go. Kiraly and Steffes trying to put away Brent Frohoff and Ricky Luyties, but Luyties and Fro will not go away. Ricky Luyties and Brent Frohoff have already lost 1 game in this tournament, so they must win 2 in a row to defeat the undefeated team of Karch and Kent via the double elimination format. The lob to Karch out of bounds, side out.
You mentioned it, playing back from 9th place. Luyties and Frohoff lost to Adam Johnson and Brooke Vandeweghe in the quarterfinals, and then they came back to beat them to continue on through the contenders bracket and make it through to the finals.
Frohoff. Tim Hovland and Scott Akatubby finished 3rd. Adam Johnson and Brooke Vandeweghe finished 4th. St. John Smith and Chris Young finished 9th, along with
a whole group of notables. Lewis and Stoklos also in 9th. Dodd and Whitmarsh also in 9th after a very good performance at the Cuervo, 2nd place last week.
And here comes Frohoff, trailing 7-9. Karch, Frohoff, and Ricky apparently touched the net, says Sid Church.
And Luyties doesn't complain. Good chase that time by Brent Frohoff. Luyties with the touch. Here Karch just is aiming over the top. And look at Luyties, gets the, maybe just ticked it with his elbow on the way down, because I really didn't see anything else shaking around. That's trouble.
Big trouble as Steffes stuffs Frohoff. The set a little too tight.
Way too tight. Ricky Luyties got to the ball a little bit late and just sort of, as we say, jacked it up to the net. And Frohoff, you know, you got to contact this ball as high as you can and just don't get blocked on it. You got to pokey the ball into the block, get something back, give Luyties a chance to redeem himself by covering.
Full timeout taken by Luyties and Frohoff. We'll be back. A 3-point lead. 793 Tour. You can purchase priority seating for any AVP event, if there is priority seating at that event, I'm told. Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland back at Nautica at the Flats. The championship final at the Miller Lite Cleveland Open. Brent Frohoff, Ricky Luyties, Karch Kiraly, and Kent Steffes. Steffes just moments ago blocked one to make it 10-7. Karch and Kent have led all the way. Their biggest lead has been 3. It's been consistent. They led early 4-1, got tied up at 4-4, led 7-4. Luyties and Frohoff got to within 1, but just have not been able to really put the pressure on Karch and Kent.
Well, 2 areas. They've jump served inconsistently, and even though they've gotten a couple of aces, they've missed too many serves. And also, Ricky Luyties got a couple of stuff blocks early, but really hasn't had any lately, and that's a big momentum switch. Got to serve some aces, block a few balls. And speaking of aces, I'd say if Steffes missed that ball, he was not, I don't think, trying to chop off that sharp an angle against Ricky Luyties.
He'll tell you it was a beauty, Paul. I had it all the way.
And he doesn't tell anybody the truth.
So Kent Steffes getting a lot of points here. That's his 3rd ace. And Frohoff and Luyties take a short 20-second timeout. So Kent Steffes serving up a storm. Kill award in doubt now. Steffes with 18, Frohoff with 17, and Luyties charging from behind. And Karai, who's not feeling well because of food poisoning, only has 9. So he's disguised it well. He's played well enough to get him off him.
Yeah, he's played well enough. And I'm telling you, Luyties and Frohoff are unaware that he's ill. Otherwise, they would have served him every ball. If they had seen Karch Kirai as I did after the semifinals, they would have served him, and he might have dropped.
Frohoff and the crowd trying to rev him up. He's a fan favorite here at the flats. Karch, and right to Frohoff. Can he put one away? He slams it.
Going hard, high, and deep, and a good read by Brent Frohoff. And he knows he's a local favorite, trying to get the crowd as involved as he possibly can. You see Frohoff on the read the whole way, and then coming back hard up the middle against Kirai.
A 3-point lead for Karch and Kent, 11-8. Karch cutting inside. Karch is still jumping. Just does not have the intensity.
Well, you can't wait. He knows, because everybody who's played at this level of basketball, football, I don't care, has had the problem of being sick the night before and coming out and playing. You know how badly you feel. You don't have a chance. You can't waste any energy at all.
And into the net. So the errant pass costs Luyties and Frohoff another point. Just when you think Luyties and Frohoff are going to come back and challenge, they give up a freebie. So it's a 4-point lead for Karch Kirai and Kent Steffes here in Cleveland. Not much time remaining, just a minute 20. Kirai and Steffes in control. Marlowe and Paul Sunderland at Nottingham, the flats. Most valuable player the last few years. Stokey, Karch, Stokey, Karch. How about this year so far? Who's your MVP so far this summer?
Karch.
Okay.
Steffes has been a little bit inconsistent, although he's played very well the last couple of weeks. Karch is another kind of MVP today, and I'll let you think about that.
Great shot. Kirai sticks it over, and Frohoff puts it away. Kirai under the weather.
Did you hear what Kirai is another kind of MVP today? Let's see if you can figure it out. Think about it.
Volatile projectile.
Most vomiting play.
Oh, my gosh. That was Paul Sunderland who said that. I'm not going to repeat it. The most vomiting player.
You just did.
Okay. Oh, gosh. Steffes got it down the line.
I just think it's a gutsy performance, you know, to come out and be able to play at this level, because Karch was really ill. Same as it was when Tim Hovland dislocated his shoulder. St. John Smith playing all those tournaments under the weather, played 2 seasons, looked like he belonged in the medical tent the entire time.
Comes Brent. Karch with a block, score! 13-8.
This
So
one's
the
in the
MVP
hopper, as they
is
say.
starting to reject.
And we're getting carried away.
Karch with the block. 59 seconds and 1/10 to be exact. 5-point lead. Kirai and Steffes going to wrap up a big one. I think you said it right, Paul. When they beat Hovland and Hackett, that was the tournament.
Yeah.
If they lose that one, I'm not so sure they can come back and win it.
They're not in this match if they don't win that. They play in the semifinals, and I think they probably lose to Frohoff and Luyties in the semis. But you win the winner's bracket, and then Karch and Kent probably had a good 3 hours to go and rest.
So Frohoff going to try to rev it up one more time. And Karch with a little tap. A lot of speculation as to what is going to happen with the Brazilian team. Anjinho has a shoulder problem. He may or may not play next week. But Graziella Aranovic, who is one of the writers for Volleyball Ja Playa, the beach volleyball magazine in Brazil, tells me that if Anjinho cannot play, Loyola, the big Brazilian, is going to play with St. John Smith.
Well,
it's already a pact.
Oh, and it should be. I think they'll be a very strong team.
That would be
very
exciting.
well together.
That would be very exciting.
I thought that they were going to play together this week. We talked about it when Anjinho dropped out of the Cuervo tournament last week because of the shoulder injury.
13-8 is the score. Kent. And Kent puts it away. I found out why that did not come off, by the way, in case you're interested.
Well, I think it's because Anginio reported his injury too late, and by then Young and Smith had already entered.
Well, Anginio went to the doctor on Wednesday. Now, apparently, Loyola did not call St. John Smith until Thursday, and he'd already signed up, as you said,
and
with
once
Chris
you've
Young.
entered, you cannot change partners and go on from there. Once you're in, and with that individual player.
13-8. Dink! Karchi coming fast, couldn't get it.
Another shot, very creative backhand little palm by Brent Frohoff.
Let's just say this, and anybody else would too, Paul. If Smith could have gotten Loyola, he would have dumped Chris Young in the ocean. Now, Young is a fine player, but anybody would. There are a lot of players, I think, that want to play with Loyola. There's rumors that Mike Dodd might want to play with him.
Well, Mike Dodd has been a confidant, as have been Tim Hovland, for their affairs in the United States.
I asked Hovland whether he thought Anginio is going to play next week. He said he better. The rent is due. Hovland being the landlord of one of the Brazilian players.
The Brazilians, I don't have any problem with the rent, the way they've been moving up. We had the prize money for you, and I'll look it up, but the Brazilians have made substantially more than I think they thought they would when they arrived in the United States. Both of them have made over $30,000.
Karch has the dig, looking for 14. Great set, put away. 14-8. Karch and Kent turning it on now, and Karai a couple of diving digs.
Well, we had a contest at 7-6. We had a contest at 8-6, but since then, Kirai has somehow found the energy, and Kent Steffes has been very error-free, playing solid volleyball.
First championship point for Karch and Kent, held off by Luyties and Frohoff. Looks like it's going to be the third second-place finish for Luyties and Frohoff this year. Karch and Kent just a little too tough. You better run down there to get Karch very quickly before he makes his run off the course.
That's a nice bump set.
And Karch feeling good now that they're at 14. I mean, he could blow a couple of plays and still have a good chance to win, don't you think?
We've already talked enough about that. 9.3 seconds left. This one's in the hopper, and Kirai and Steffes have played well under duress and have won another tournament.
And that's almost it. 4.5 seconds to go. Frohoff gets the kill one more time on the Kill Award for updation.
Frohoff with 24, Luyties 14. Look at Steffes with 21.
Looks like Frohoff is going to get it. Be smart. He'd think right now, I've got the Kill Award wrapped up. I shouldn't serve Steffes so we can catch up.
I don't think that's what's on his mind right now.
He needs an ace.
Oh, that was a foot fault right there. Very smart play not to hit the ball, because the foot fault is only called, of course, if you follow through with the serve.
What happens if he drops the ball on top of himself? Does that count? Now he's got to serve this one.
Yeah, this one's coming.
If he throws it up or anywhere near Sunday's stuff, he's got to throw it and hit it anywhere. Karch, run up.